Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it on such a cold Monday night. We struggled. I thought we got off to a better start than we have the last few games, and we really were focused on that. We looked to attack it a little bit more, got more ball reversal early in the game. But when it comes down to it, the only stat that really matters in this game is 53-31 out rebounded. It's about 22, 19 offensive rebounds. The stats say second chance points 22-7, but in reality, they don't count free throws. They don't count the three that was hit after an offensive rebound. It's more like 31-7, and you just can't do that. And there were plenty of times where we had inside position. We've got people in the right place, and we're just not making contact and blocking anybody out. And it just really it all boils down to that. Make a few mistakes here and there defensively, but when it comes down to it, you can't give another team that many opportunities or they're going to shoot a high percentage. So, that's really what the game boiled down to.
Were there any thoughts of going with Natanya during the second half?
Yeah, she's struggling getting up and down the floor. And then, we needed to get something offensively to where we could spread the floor and attack. So that's why we didn't go to her. There were thoughts about it, but, she gave up a rebound when she was in there and made, no effort to get it. I'll have to go back and watch the film, but that's what it looked like live. And I sent somebody to the table to get her out, and then she got a rebound on the next possession. But I felt like they would outrun her. Their posts run the floor extremely well. I thought this would be a tough game for her to play, unless we could sit in our zone the whole time. And, it's kind of hard to sit in a zone when you're down 15. So that made it tough to put her in the game. I was hoping we'd get some offensive production from Bianca and just Shay during that time as well. So,
what did they do so well against Jessica? You see her all the time.
They did a really good job of making her the focal point on the backboards. They did a nice job. They've got big athletic kids. They've got 4 or 5 they can rotate in there, and they did a good job of keeping them fresh and rotating them on her and making sure, that she didn't go get the board. And, we've got to do a better job as a team of rebounding. We look at halftime, and she only had a couple of rebounds, and we had 4 or 5 people on the team with 0 rebounds by their names that had played 13, 14, 15, 16 minutes. And that just can't happen. Defensively, everybody on the floor should be going to rebound, and we had several times where we only had 2 people rebounding and 2 or 3 looking the other way, standing and watching. And, it's just not good enough.
You guys tied up at 32, and then they end the half on a 9-2 run. Do you feel like that?
No, well, they can look at it now. At the time, I didn't feel like it deflated the team, but it was definitely a major difference. In hindsight, you come out in the second half, and for whatever reason, I'm sure they're in the locker room talking about they've scored 55 points and 53 points in the last 2 second halves, so you got to really get after them. And we came out and just like we had no energy at all, offensively or defensively. So, maybe it did. You kind of fight and you're right there, and then they go on that run to close out the first half. Maybe that did have an impact psychologically. I don't know. I have to ask our players, but it just wasn't good enough to start the second half. They outplayed us, they out-hustled us.
Was that a surprise with how well you guys had played in the second half?
Yeah, I was surprised. I don't remember exactly when I called the timeout, but a couple of minutes into the second half I have to call a timeout because we're just standing around defensively. Transition defense was awful, half-court defense was awful. The first possession, I think the first possession we gave up an offensive rebound and then they score. And then offensively, we just looked like we weren't attacking. We just were out there. So we had to call a timeout. And then I thought we played better, and then we had stretches where, we just struggled to score. And then when you're giving up offensive rebounds on the other end, it just makes it difficult.
What do y'all got to do to kind of work on this defense?
Well, just continue doing what we're doing. And, what I'm really trying to focus on right now with our team is, not letting the last game affect the next one and making sure that we're more concerned about getting better and being the best we can be every possession we play. And, we're just not there. We're not the best we can be every possession we play. We worry about what happened on the last possession a lot. you'll see kids do something, either turn the ball over or make a mistake defensively, and they hang their heads, and then they're done for a possession or two. And that's not the way we practice. That's not what we talk about. We really talk a lot and always have about staying in the moment and controlling that possession. And right now, that's all we have to do. We can't worry about results. We need to be process-oriented and worry about the process and let the results take care of themselves. Because, until we get to the point where we can play each possession and be at our best, your results aren't going to be good. We're not going to win games. We can be, like the last couple of games, we can be in games, but at this level, you're probably not going to win those games. With our team, the way it's constructed right now, we really have zero margin for error. So.
Do you think the losing streak's wearing on them, or?
No, I don't think so. I mean, their attitude in practice the next day has been, like after the Jacksonville State game, we had a great attitude in practice. We had a great practice. I don't think that that's wearing on them. I think that, at this time of year, freshmen, normally their minutes are kind of limited to, 15 to 20 if they're playing a lot. A lot of freshmen never see the floor. But, and they start to hit a wall around this time of year. So I think some of that might come into play. But really attitudes, their attitudes have been great. And they really care about each other, and they're very unselfish. And they just want to help each other. But they're struggling, to get to the point where they're playing well enough to win games. And the more, that's why I'm worried about the process, and I've coached championship teams, and I've coached teams that struggled, and I've coached teams that have had a lot of injuries a couple of years. Well, a lot of injuries, same kind of stuff we've gone through this year. And this team probably has the best attitude about it all, but this is also the youngest team. So, we're making more mistakes than we need to make to have a chance to win games, And tonight the mistake was not rebounding. I mean, you made a couple of errors here and there, but really it all boils down to you get dominated on the glass like that, you can't say anything else. But I would like to say I think we're doing 10 turnovers. We average just over 10 turnovers. We're one of the best in the country with nothing but freshman guards right now. We're doing some good things, and that's something that we talk about as well. What did we do good as a team, and what did we do good as individuals? So, we'll watch film tomorrow and hopefully learn from this, and certainly got to be a lot better. Get our third game in however many days it is, and we're playing an Austin Peay team that's on a roll, that's playing very well, that we beat here. So, I'm sure they're going to be ready for us, and they're very physical. So, we've got a short turnaround and just got to get better.
Coach, it's the midway point now. You've played 8 games. You've got 8 left in conference.
Mm-hmm.
What is the biggest change that needs to happen in the next 8 games?
It's like after today, I would say we got to rebound, but we just out-rebounded. We just out-rebounded a team that's as good a rebounding team as this team. So I think it changes with us from game to game, but I really just think the mentality of every possession matters, and understanding that your career is short. Okay, so you only get so many possessions. And the one thing I wish they would understand, and it's hard to get that point across until people get into their senior year, but there's no telling how many possessions you're going to have. The game can be taken away from you like that, like Kiana Kirby had it taken away. She's probably done for the season, and so she's had it taken away for right now. Well, so if you've only got so many possessions left, why not go out and play every possession to the best of your ability? And that's the thing we're trying to sell, and we've got to grow and get better in that area. And that's the only thing I'm concerned about right now, is that our players improve day to day. And each game it's going to be something different, but it's mostly just being locked in on the possession you're in, and not worrying about the last play and not worrying about the next play. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.